What is up, everybody? It is Wick here, and I'm in my technically living room, I guess. I'm going to be doing some work today, some listing. I've been getting the question a lot about my listing process, and I've promised videos probably for over a year. So I'm going to go through what I've been doing to list, my process, how I trick my mind into listing. I've listed over probably 10,000 items at this point, and you can burn out very easily doing that. Listing is not necessarily fun, but you can do things to make it easier, and I'm going to show you some of that. Also show you some things I'm listing, just kind of how I'm doing stuff around here, kind of a different type of video. First, let me step back here. You can see this is, well, I have an old house. It's from like 1902. You can see it's kind of divided. There's the other living room. That's kind of the living room. I decided just to use this part of it to work out of, because the upstairs, it's just too much work to try to carry a lot of stuff upstairs. Usually I list it and then I move it upstairs. That's where I store it, and then that's where I ship it out and bring it back downstairs. It's not ideal, but it's what I have right now. At some point, I will be getting a new house. Of course, I don't need to tell everybody about the crazy housing prices and all that. I've got the cash now to buy a house. With cash, I'm just waiting for the right opportunity. I'm waiting for the prices to come down a little bit. So yeah, this is what I'm dealing with right now, and I'm making it work. You can see over here, I got my ring light. I just got the Amazon photo box. If you're interested, if I'm mentioning anything that I use in my business, it's always in the description. I have a link that shows all that, because I get questions all the time about, hey, what photo box do you use? Hey, what scale? All in the description. But I just have it set up in here to do my listing. I have all these totes here. And this isn't even a fraction of what I have, because I have another storage building, 2.5 car garage, just filled with stuff. I probably got 100 to 120 totes like this, and it's all filled with reselling stuff. And people are like, Wick, why do you keep sourcing? And I'm just going to address this now. I source because I enjoy sourcing. Also, as an Amazon seller, I was doing a lot of retail arbitrage early on, still going to garage sales and thrifting, looking for Amazon stuff. And when I'm looking for that Amazon stuff, I found a lot of eBay stuff. So what I decided to do was just buy all the eBay stuff I was thinking I could make money on, throw it in totes, and eventually, I'd get to it. First 2 years of seriously reselling, I didn't even really sell on eBay. It was just all Amazon, but I just couldn't leave things I was seeing out at these thrift stores and garage sales. I'm like, I can make money on that. So that definitely adds up. Also, well, I make YouTube videos, so I need to consistently find new stuff. And then of course, I love thrifting. It's therapeutic for me. I don't want to just list all day. And don't think I don't list. I list all the time. We're selling stuff. You see it on the channel if you watch regularly. I sell stuff. It's just, I've had a lot of opportunities to buy stuff over the years where I wasn't really selling on eBay, and it's just added up. Plus, I'm a one-man show. I can't, list everything I find. I'm not going to miss rummage sales and community garage sales and just sit at home and list. That's just not me. I treat this as an investment. All this stuff is good, sellable stuff. A lot of it will go up in value the longer it sits even. I remember I sold a Pokemon camera for $100 that I bought. Sat for like 4 years in a tote. I found it. I remember it was selling for $20 when I first bought it, but just never got around to listing it. When I finally did, it was worth $100, so that's good. And I'm sure there's stuff that will go down in value. Also, the stuff in here is from the previous like garage sale season, just within like the last year. The stuff ready, well, not ready, but I'm trying to get to first. And then we'll move into the other stuff. Winter is coming, so there's going to be a lot of opportunity for me to get this stuff listed. There's not as many sales I'm going to, and I'll probably just end up going, well, I'll thrift every day locally, right? But going out of town, I'll probably try to do once a week is all. But that's something I should mention. If you're going to be doing this seriously, like trying to make a full-time living out of it, or try to make as much money as you can or whatever, you're going to need space. You're going to need tons of inventory like that, because you just need to keep cycling through it. And it doesn't hurt to have an employee. Maybe one day I'll hire someone to help me with the listing or whatever. Again, I'm not too worried about that right now, just because, this is kind of what I'm doing for a living. Of course, I have other income streams, like with trading and that kind of stuff. Even some merch by Amazon stuff that's still trickling in. But the majority of it is reselling, and that's what I need to survive. So what is my listing process? Basically, I just start pulling stuff that I have sitting here, stuff out of the totes, and then I start listing it. I generally just test everything, clean it, get it ready for photos, put it on this table, and then I just start snapping my photos. I try to take pictures of every side, minimum 3 photos, even if it doesn't need it, because the YouTube, or I should say the Google, well, I guess it's the eBay algorithm that likes more photos. Google algorithm likes white backgrounds. But after I get the photos taken, I bring my stuff in here and I actually sit it on the couch. Here's some stuff I've already got photoed and ready to list. I sit it here because I need to entertain my mind somehow. I then turn on a stream or, watch a video. You can even listen to music, audiobooks, whatever it takes to kind of just entertain your mind other than just listing, because like I said, listing thousands of items a year will just burn you out very quickly. Also, I bring my scale, my tape measure, I sit in here, and you know what? I just kind of sit down here and just do my work at a casual pace. You say, Wick, that's not very efficient. You should be working as fast as you can to make that hourly rate go up. That's how I was in the beginning. I made myself work as hard as I could, as fast as I could, because I wanted to make sure I was making about $100 per hour for my listing, which even casually doing it, I still make between $50 to $100 per hour listing on, in general, not counting the time it takes me to source stuff, obviously. And then once I get all this stuff listed, I put it in my IKEA bags. I take it upstairs and I put it away in the totes and just wait for it to sell. Also, my living room usually isn't this junky. I got stuff on the floor here because I was just thrifting. Got some really good finds today. Of course, that's going to be in a thrifting video, but there's a sneak preview. Got some good stuff. So do you remember this? Yeah, I bought this, decided to keep it, bought it to resell. Also over here, I got this fan, the Emerson fan. I still, like it here in my house as a decoration. And it's about $800 fan. I probably should sell it. I also got the Fantasia lamp that I bought. Well, it was about 2 years ago now. This thing's, it's worth like $250, $300. I don't even remember now. Kind of like that there. So a lot of stuff I buy, I just kind of put it in my house. I don't know. But I got a lot of stuff over here that I definitely need to list. That's just, you know how death piles get. Got that $800 sewing machine there. Got that Canon printer I got at Walmart. What'd I pay for those? Like $200? I sold that for $500, but it was returned, unfortunately. It had been opened. So what I have to do is I have to actually pull it out and test it because, I don't know if it was broken or what, if there's anything missing. And it just ended up under that table and then stuff got put in front of it. So I got a lot of cassettes to test and all that. And I recently, just today, actually, very recently, I pulled out this tote of Christmas Village stuff, Department 56. These came out of a Salvation Army pallet, if anyone remembers who was watching at the time, probably 3-4 years ago when I bought the Salvation Army pallets for $50 a piece, and they had hundreds and hundreds of items on it. Now, this is some of the Christmas Village stuff. I decided, well, Christmas is coming up. I need to get that stuff listed. And you can just kind of see how stuff adds up very quickly, and I do not mind. I like having this much stuff because I am confident the majority of it's going to sell. I'm going to make money on it. Like I said, it's an investment. Kind of makes me feel more financially secure knowing this stuff is still here for me to list in case, I don't find a lot of stuff next year. I still got plenty to list. But I want to show you some of the realistic stuff about reselling on a level where you're making a full-time living. You just got to have tons of inventory, tons of listing being done. Otherwise, you're just not going to generate enough money. Of course, if you're doing this as a hobby or part-time, that's a bit different. I don't recommend letting it get to this state. Just look for stuff and list it as you find it. And if you're wondering what this is down here, this is some glue traps for mice. I had some mice in here last month and I'm making sure that there's no more. We seem to be good. Of course, now that my cats have passed, every winter when it starts to get cold, I get mice in here for the first month or two. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and just list this stuff and then take it upstairs. And then I'm going to look through some totes. I wanted to show you some stuff upstairs too before I end this video. So there is my scale and tape measure, which I'll always have when I'm doing my listing because I put in the weight and the dimensions right when I do it. Do calculated shipping, so there's no shipping surprises. I recommend everyone to that. Of course, if you're an experienced seller, you can kind of guess the shipping on some items. Priority mail, like flat rate stuff, you can kind of figure out what's best and price it accordingly. First class, you kind of know the prices of that kind of stuff. So some of that you don't really need to do the calculated shipping on, but for me, if an item's going to California, it can be 17 or 18 bucks compared to just around here, a few states away, like $8. So just remember that if you're new, like shipping can really destroy you if you're not careful on how you're pricing things. It's just best to do calculated, put the weight in, dimensions, and you're covered. I also need to throw this in that my way of listing is not going to be for everybody. This is what I found for me to be the most successful, because I just can list pretty much every day and not feel like it's a big chore, because I'll have the TV on and I'll be entertained. It's something I want to watch or see anyway. It's not something I'm focused on. Don't watch like a movie you're into, because you won't get anything done. I was testing some Wii's I got here, and I was testing Wii Golf or Wii Sports, and I got to the golf and I got into it, wasted an hour playing Wii Golf. You know, when you don't have a boss, you have to make sure that you stay on track sometimes. Otherwise, the days will just go by and will not see money entering your bank account. I would suggest looking at your listing and figuring out what you hate the most about it and trying to find a way to make that easier or feel better. Don't have anxiety. Don't feel like you have to rush. You have to work fast. You should keep a pretty good pace though, if you want to be productive in the end, because again, if you're reselling full time, it takes a lot of time to source and list and move and deal with stuff people don't realize. But if it's a hobby, it's not as big of a deal. You find 2 or 3 items, you come home, you list them in the next day or 2 and you're good. But I would love to hear in the comments from people, what's your style of listing? How do you list? Is it anything similar to my weird way? I would love to know. So I'm in the middle of a listing, been listing for about 30 minutes and I got about half of it done. I should probably mention I also list on my phone. I find that the best way to list. I'm used to it. I'm extremely fast on it. I also like the fact that there's text to speech. I can use the little microphone and I can just describe it rather than just typing it out, because just typing on a phone or anywhere really, just all the descriptions over and over is just kind of annoying. Some descriptions where I use, like when I talk about how I test my electronics, I have saved in a notepad. I just copy and paste that over. All that saves time and it helps with the mental part of listing. I also break down stuff. Sometimes I just take pictures, I test and clean stuff, and then I just wait until the next day to do more. Other times I'll take the pictures, clean stuff, then I'll go edit a video or do other work, and then come back and finish actually listing the stuff. I try to break it up so I'm just not, listing straight 4 or 5 hours. I used to be able to handle it. I used to be able to do it and it was nothing. But now I just like to break it up, take breaks, because remember, it's the long game. If you're doing this for years to come and you're listing thousands of items, you want to keep yourself as sane as possible. Let me know in the comments also how long you list straight. Do you just do like an 8-hour shift and you just pound out listings for 8 hours? Or do you like to take breaks and break it up and do other work in the middle? Go clean the house, go clean the bathroom, do some listing, watch an episode of The Simpsons, go back to listing, take some photos, take a nap, play a video game. So I have everything listed now and I'm going to put it away in my inventory storage here. And if you're curious, it ended up taking right around an hour and a half for me to list all that stuff, and it's going to be about $300 profit after fees. So that's some pretty good time management, I think. But now I'm going to go photograph my Christmas village stuff I got downstairs. Probably won't end up listing it, just gonna photograph it, check it, make sure they're not broken, take the photos and get them all prepped. I also want to list some camera stuff, because over the last few years my camera death pile has become crazy. I just keep throwing them in my camera totes, and I'm like, one day I'm just gonna start listing all my camera stuff. I can test it all at once, just kind of that mentality going on. So I'll show you that real quick. It's kind of crazy. So here is one of my upstairs bedrooms, and I got this, as you can see, packed full of inventory. It's actually pretty clean compared to what it has been in the past. With winter coming, I've been able to get some stuff listed and moved and organized more. Still got a lot of stuff in the floor I need to deal with. Still got a brand new switch and ring lights over there. Not ring lights, what are they called? The Ring Fit, that's what it is. I bought that stuff back when the price of Nintendo Switches went way up. Of course, I got mine like right when they started to go down, so it's just been sitting there. I don't know if I'm going to sell it or keep it. So far, I've just been keeping it. Kind of dark in here, so I got a lot of electronics to list. I got a couple shelves where I have stuff that I have listed, the more bulkier stuff. And I don't know if it looks organized to you, but it's actually very organized. I know what's going on in here. Here's where I got some more stuff listed. And of course, one of the biggest things about reselling is keeping all of your boxes, or just storing all of the extra boxes. You see all these boxes I just need boxes are money. If you start buying boxes from like stores, you can see just even small boxes can be $2 to $3 a piece. That's why I like to save any box I get, because that's just money in the end. But I'm going to pull out one of these camera totes I have not looked in a while. Actually, look over here at all these games. Just got a bunch of Nintendo 64 games here. There's Adventure Island, Super Adventure. I'm not even sure. I don't even remember where I got these, honestly. I remember I got this pack from somebody from Salvation Army. But anyway, getting distracted. It's easy to do. Let me pull out this tote. Actually, I think I have 3 camera totes, and they're pretty full. I have a lot of these Olympus Stylus Epics in there. Minolta, this is one I just threw in there recently. I got at a rummage sale. You know, I have, I would say, thousands of dollars in cameras that I've just picked up. Here's another Olympus Stylus Epic. Look at that, only paid $4.99. These things sell for between $80 and $100 just depending on the model. I wouldn't be surprised if I have a dozen of those. Let's take a look at this one. There's a Stylus Epic right on top there. Oh my goodness, I paid $1 for that. Looks like at the thrift store. Whew, that was a good find. I don't even remember really finding that. Got some Minolta stuff in there. Some definitely good camera stuff that I'm gonna go through these soon and just test them the best I can. I don't film test them, but it's about time I start getting some of these listed at least. So I want to go through them. You let me know in the comments if you'd like a video on that where I focus a bit more on those cameras. I believe I got a comment one time that somebody was interested in that. So there it is. I am going to go downstairs and get to work photographing. Have some stuff prepped so I can just start tomorrow listing it. Keep the cycle going, keep bringing in money, put a dent in my huge death pile. I showed you how I go about my listing process, and this is by no means the way you should do it. You should do what works for you, what makes you comfortable. But hopefully my method showed you some ideas and you can apply them. Maybe listen to an audiobook, watch some TV, a stream. I know a lot of people watch my videos while they list. I think that's just genius. But I want to thank you for watching. Please hit that like button before you go. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, flipping_junk. And this has been Wick. Till next time.